What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video we are going to be working on the wide body. So with this car I have got a coupler in the supercharger rattling. So since I'm going to be messing with that, I went ahead, ordered a smaller pulley from ZZ Performance as well. So we're going to get that installed. We're going to replace the little flex joint in the snout. Also, the tachometer in this car is way off. So I ordered a tachometer board replacement that will be calibrated for this car. Well, you can calibrate it for a V6. It'll also have a low fuel option. I'm still waiting on that, so that hasn't come in yet. And then the third thing we're going to do is fix an issue I have with the plasti dip. You can see I just washed it. But down here, where your feet rub, it's peeling. And it looks horrible. So, I ordered this stuff over here. Yes, it's blue carbon fiber vinyl wrap. No, it does not match the car. But when it's all installed, it doesn't look too bad. You see, I've already done the passenger side. It's a little bit darker than the car. But really, it looks a lot better than the peeling plasti dip. So, we're going to go ahead and get that installed. Maybe we will also do the oil change this car needs. It depends on if the 55 Chevy is off the hoist by the time I'm done filming this or not. Because that up there, that is the other project. So I guess let's get going on doing this vinyl wrap. We'll get the plasti dip off and put the vinyl wrap on. Alright, well, it's done. Is it perfect? No. Does it look better than peeling plasti dip? It does. Keep in mind, I do not do this for a living. I've never done this before. I might try up in that front corner. It's still a little wet from being washed. I tried to dry it. Kept having stuff drip down on it. I might try tomorrow at work with my heat gun just to warm it up and see if I can get some of the creases out of it. But doesn't look bad. It looks a lot better than the peeling plasti dip. I can run my feet over it and it will be all right. So, on to the next project. Gotta decide if I'm gonna do the smaller pulley or the tachometer. So, let's get to it. What's up, guys? It's the next day. So I didn't like how this turned out. So, I redid it today. Looks a lot better. I also have come up with another thing I need to do. So I installed this little heads-up display right here. And basically what I want to do is kind of clean up my install. You maybe use some vacuum line to go around here to kind of clean up the seams. Get it to where it sits on here how it's supposed to sit. So I'm going to end up popping this off to clean up my install on this too. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Alright, looks a little better. Trimmed it out with some of this wiring loom stuff that I had left over from the engine swap. Kind of cleans up the opening a little bit. Got this glued on to its perch. Yeah. This is the reflective part on the windshield. It's kind of nice. It's GPS, speedometer. Also has a compass built into it. I like it. It's a lot more accurate than my speedometer that's way off. So, on to the next project. Well guys, I'm here at work. Kind of a slow day, so I think what I'm going to do is take the supercharger snout off, install the coupler, and install the smaller pulley with our shop press. So, I will get back to it when I'm all done and show you the completed project. Alright, supercharger's apart. New coupler. Got the pulley off. Had to use the shop press, so we'll get that back on there. Fill the fluid. We'll get the modular hub pressed on and then we'll get it back on the car. What's up, guys? Made it home with the maiden voyage after the smaller supercharger pulley. As you can see, it's a bit quicker, but didn't beat on it too much. So I'm low on gas, and I want it to stay that way because I have this. And we're going to get this installed. It has a low fuel light, so I wanted to keep the car low on fuel. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so what we have here is a tachometer board. This is from Red Devil River. Can't remember what I paid for this. 79 bucks maybe? This one can be calibrated, and it also has the low fuel light option, and it can work with the oil gauge or the voltmeter, and mine has voltmeter because it's an 84. I have the wiring for the low fuel light. Got the directions, so gotta start by getting the cluster out of here and getting it taken apart. So let's get to it. By the way, if you hear heavy breathing, I have my assistant with me. I figured I could use the help. So let's get to pulling this cluster out. Alright, so cluster's out. Got the clear cover unbolted. Take that off and set it to the side. Got to get this piece off. I think this is the only screw. There's that. Now we got to get the tack out, which should be the screw and this screw. I've also got to take the fuel gauge out in order to hook up the low fuel light, which is a couple screws. And this should lift out just like that. Now just need to unbolt it. Gotta take all these nuts loose here that hold this on. These three, and these three. And I don't think I have the socket for that. Let's see. Top 10. No. Not very organized. Is it a 7? Nope. Alright, I gotta go get a socket, and then I'll get that off of there. Alright, so got the nuts removed. This board should just come off of the tachometer. Now, grab the new one, and we will install it. It's kind of hard to do one-handed. Like that. Now, I believe this came with screws or nuts. It did. So, there's these washers. I'll reinstall those. And then put this back together with the new nuts. This is not easy to do one-handed, so I will be back once I get this all back together. Alright, got the new board bolted onto the tack. So, next thing to do here is to take the temp fuel gauge out, hook up the harness for the low fuel light. I got to figure out which one of these extra light areas I'm going to have the low fuel light in, and then that plugs in right there. So let me get this tack reinstalled, get the fuel gauge out, and get that modified, and then yeah, and then I will be back. Alright, I got the cluster temporarily installed. There's an adjustment down in this blower corner for the fuel light, and I'm at about the level where I want the fuel light to come on. And then there's two switches here that you flip up to calibrate, and this little screw, you turn the tack to calibrate it. Since this is a 6-cylinder, you want it to point at 4,000 RPM. So, tack reads 0. Flip the switches to calibrate. Tack should go up. I'm at 4,000 RPM. So that's calibrated. Now let's turn this one for the low fuel light, which I have up at the top there. There we go. Low fuel light is on. So that should be good. I should be able to take this out now and put it back together, and I will finish up this video when I get that done. Alright, back together. Start it up and see if the tach reads right. Oh, look at that. That would have been about 2,500 RPM before. I was shifting at about 8. That was red line, 8 volts. So yeah, that's how you do that. Sorry, it's like a billion degrees in the shop. I'll leave a link in the description for where I got the tach. Then I can leave ZZ Performance's link in the description too for where I got the smaller pulley, the supercharger oil, the coupler. Yeah, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Leave a like, leave a comment, and I will see you guys on the next one.